And we are live. Welcome back to the channel, people. It is Chosen Wisdom Football, a channel for the football purists, the critical thinkers, the deep thinkers, the people who like to say what they see and not just how they feel. A channel for football fans around the world. And if you are a Manchester United fan, live, welcome. Sound check, guys, sound check. If you are a Man United fan like me, then this is the channel for you. Today is your match preview for, would you guys say this is the biggest game of the season? Well, at least one of the top three. I think for Man United, Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal are probably the three biggest fixtures. And you can't really get much bigger than the Manchester derby. Manchester United versus Manchester City tomorrow. And it is Michael Carrick's first official press conference as a Manchester United manager. Or should I say, first pre-match press conference as a Manchester United manager. So we're in uncharted waters, we're in uncharted territories. Yes, Michael Carrick did take over for just about 2 or 3 games a few years ago, but he has now taken over as full-time manager, at least until the end of the season. So as usual, guys, this is your match preview show. So we are going to go through the manager's quotes, guys, the new manager's quotes. We're going to see how Carrick handles the press conference compared to how Amorim handles the press conference. We're going to see the type of questions that gets asked of him, that gets posed to Michael Carrick, which straight off the bat, I'm going to say, guys, they're quite straightforward. He wasn't thrown any curveballs, really. And a few curveballs he was thrown, in my opinion, he handled it well. So on today's show, people, big up the chat as well. Atro TK in the building, Turkish in the building, big up the chat. So guys, today we're going to go through Michael Carrick's press conference. He spoke on his new role and the expectations of the new role. He spoke on success. He spoke on De Ligt and the injury of De Ligt. He also spoke on the Manchester United hierarchy. Yes, I knew there were always going to be some questions asked of him about the hierarchy, and they didn't disappoint. So he was asked about the hierarchy. Of course, we spoke on the derby, and quite interestingly, guys, he was also asked a question about the legends, about the Gary Nevilles, and about the likes of Roy Keane. So he was asked about that, and his response, guys, is very, very interesting. So we're going to get through his quotes. We're going to talk about Roy Keane's comments, actually. Roy Keane has come out and he's spoken on Johnny Evans leaving the club and then coming back a few months later. He spoke on that. Laurie Whitwell, a journalist, has also commented and spoke on the protest, guys. And the protests, they're having an impact. They are having an impact. Ineos did not appreciate the anger of the fans. I don't think Ineos understood what they're getting themselves into, and they don't understand the anger of the fan base. And let me tell you guys, the protests, they're having an impact. They're having an impact in a way that Ineos just didn't understand. So we're going to talk about that as well. As we know, guys, Ahmad and Brian Mbeumo are back. The two African warriors, I don't know why I'm calling them that, are back. What does that mean? How does that change anything? Will they, have enough training to be part of Carrick's team? I mean, they've been playing football in Africa. They've been playing one game every 3 days in Africa. So they're definitely match fit, but will they have trained enough? I don't know. So we're going to talk about that as well. There's also news, guys. people talking once again about Casemiro's contract, guys. This has resurfaced. Will Casemiro get an extension or not? We seem to be going through some circle when it comes to Casemiro. Let him go, give him a year's extension. Let him go or give him a year extension. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Casemiro. He's lost his legs, we know. There's a lot of things in his game that he doesn't possess, that we want him to possess, like speed. Let me know what you would do with Casemiro, guys, before we get into it. And also, could there be a midfielder that we could get on loan? I like a secret midfielder, a name that none of us have thought about. I know that we've spoken about the fact that the club have come out and said there will not be any signings in January, but could there be a loan signing? So we're going to get into that. Like I said, guys, smash the Bumberclaw like, please. Subscribe if you're new. We're going to go through Carrick's comments. We're going to talk about what Roy Keane has said, the protests. Of course, we're going to end on the game. We're going to end on the Manchester United game. And to be honest, guys, when we do the lineup together as a community later on in the show, I have no idea what Carrick is going to pick. I want you guys to give me some sort of idea, because I know Michael Carrick. I know what kind of football he likes to play, but I have no idea the formation. I have no idea who he's going to select. So you guys, if you can help me out, who's he going to pick tomorrow? Who is going to play? What formation is Carrick going to play tomorrow? Anybody who's got insights about him at his time at Middlesbrough or anything, just let me know, guys. Start a conversation. But we're here now. We're here now. Carrick is here. The match is literally less than 12 hours. No, just over 12 hours away, right? Midday. So time doesn't wait for us, guys. We can cry about Amorim all we want. We are here. So let's go through it, guys. Let's get through. Big up TK. I can see the chat. Big up Alfred in the building. And Atro as well. Big up the chat. Turkish as well. Ahmed and Brian is back, says Turkish. I'm tired of Roy Keane, says TK. Legend or not, all the guy does is badmouth Man United. Very easy to be negative. I like that, TK. One thing about TK sometimes asks the question, cool, you can criticize, but do you have a remedy? Do you have a way out of the situation? Because it's very easy to throw stones, but how do you solve the issue? And I like the way that TK always seems to pose that question. You can get Amorim out, but who's going to come in and make us better? That's the next conversation that we need to have. So big up TK in the building. What's Alfred saying? Hi everyone in the chat. Hello Turkish. Big up Alfred. Big up yourself. The secret midfielder is Michael Carrick himself. Listen, Alfred. Michael Carrick right now, Michael Carrick right now is a better passer of the ball than flipping Ugarte could ever be. Right now, in his 40s, I will play Michael Carrick over Ugarte. So, Loftus-Cheek. I've heard about that Loftus-Cheek. Listen, I'm not going to turn my nose up, guys, at Loftus-Cheek. If he's not injury prone, what's Atro saying? It will be 4-2. I think it will be 4-2-3-1 as well, Atro. I think it will be 4-2-3-1. These guys play a very similar system. Mbumo left wing back and Ahmad right wing back. Yeah, I think you said that before. I like that, Atro. I like that. I would play that. I wouldn't be scared to play that, but I don't know if Carrick would play that. Anyway, guys, let's get into his pre-match press conference. Some nice, easy questions were posed to him. You know, first press conference. Don't bite his head off. Don't start throwing daggers at him straight away. But at the same time, they also asked him some more challenging questions. So this is Michael Carrick on his new role and how he feels and what it's like to be here. He says, it's a great feeling for me to be in this position. I have played different roles and learned to love this club. It's been a part of my life for so long. I'm fully aware of the position I'm in so many different ways. I'm eager to succeed. We have a big job ahead of us. It's an important job to do. It always is here to win games and to play well and to do it in a certain way. The thing about Michael Carrick, and he's not saying much there. Can we admit that he's not saying much there? But I'm gonna try to be positive, guys. And I know it's easier to get angry and be negative right now, but I'm gonna try to be positive and say there's something reassuring and comforting when you know the person understands the football club. I'm not going to say Carrick will be a success. I'm not saying the best manager in the world. He's this and he's that. That's a different conversation. I'm saying at least he knows the levels. He knows what kind of players we should be bringing in. He knows what kind of football we should be playing. He knows what our attack should look like, what our defending look like. He understands the club. He understands how big the club is. He knows what to say and what not to say in the media. He's going to conduct himself in a way that we don't have to tear our hair out. If he starts losing and losing and losing and losing, just like Amorim, certain things that we find endearing about him will slowly start become annoying and frustrating. Like Amorim's honesty was okay, but when he kept losing, losing, and losing, that same honesty, that same authenticity that Amorim possessed became a devil on his back. It became a weakness. So I hope I'm not speaking too quickly, but like I said, there is something reassuring to know that as much as people are frustrated with us going and hiring managers like Carrick, like Ollie, there's something reassuring to know that he understands what it is to be here. And that's all I'm saying, guys. There's something little reassuring about that. So that's Michael Carrick on his role. What is success? What is success? I liked his answer to this question, guys. You guys know me by now. I think improvement, helping individuals is a big part of what I enjoy. I think if you improve the individuals, then you create a better team. Oh, that sounds so good to my ears, people. And results, of course. Man said after all the improvement, he goes improvement, and results. There is an element of performance. Oh, people who don't think performance is important. At Manchester United, how we play is important, guys. We need to be entertained. So he goes on to say there's an element of performance, an element of improvement, and doing what it takes to win in a certain way. We want to keep pushing and finish as high as we can. Listen, as high as we can. Listen, guys, once again, I want to manage my expectations and not get too carried away. And I'm hoping that you guys, the chat, the community can say, Wizzy, relax yourself. Relax yourself, man. So yeah, maybe I need to relax. But once again, guys, what he's saying here is good. Improving individuals. What have we said? We have said that the system that Amorim was playing didn't improve really anybody. Nobody really looked good. And Boomer didn't look better. Ahmad's not really improved. Cunha doesn't look that good, etc., etc. If Michael Carrick, and I love managers who can do this, who can improve footballers. No, like someone like Jose Mourinho would rather buy a ready-made player, and he might not necessarily improve players, Jose, because he's not that kind of manager. But I like the managers who sit down with players, who sit down with the psychology department, all of these departments, find out what their weaknesses and tries to improve footballers. I like that kind of manager, the manager that's on the ground level, that's there, that's a bit human, that talks to you like a human being. One thing about Fergie that I loved, guys, and we all enjoyed, was that Fergie was a manager. He didn't need to do all the tactic stuff. He was good at tactics. He hired number twos who were very tactical, but he knew how to get the best out of any individual. Understand how someone ticks, what they like, what they don't like, Understand what motivates an individual. Do you shout at them? Do you encourage them? Do you tell them that a girl's better than you? If you tell a man a girl's better than you, that might motivate the man to to run quicker. Find out how you get motivated. Tap into the player psychology and try to improve them. And I like this answer, guys. I like this answer. It shows to me that Carrick, and one thing I've always thought about Carrick, guys, he's always come across, yeah, like he's smart. He's an intelligent player. The role that he played, that I know it's called a DM role, defensive midfield role. I know some people don't call it a DM because he basically screened. He screened. Carrick hardly slide tackled. Carrick screened. He cut out passes. Like Rio Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand was hardly on the ground sliding. Rio Ferdinand read the game and he cut out passes. Vidic was sliding around. Vidic was the aggressive one. Carrick was the same. Carrick wasn't keen. We moved away from that doggy DM. We moved away from Keane and we went to Carrick, who was a more register. He was a ball passer. Yeah. He was a pivot, a screener. So let's go. Let's move on, guys. I know big up the chat. Big up Alfred. I see Alfred. Tim as well. Big up Tim in the building. Time for Casemiro to move on. Surely, says Tim. Wish the legend players would pipe down and allow the team to breathe. I've always spoke about, or at least not say spoke about, had theories about the legends and how Man United have the most amount of legends in the media, have the most amount of legends on TV, constantly talking about what Man United are doing right, what Man United are doing wrong, always, constantly. And I'm thinking, is it the same for Real Madrid? Is it the same for Barcelona? Then again, I'm saying, how can it be the same for Madrid or Barcelona when they keep winning? The reason why everyone's angry and everyone keeps talking is because we keep losing. So then I'm thinking, the only reason why the players are talking all like so negatively all the time is because we are bad. So therefore, just be good, just improve, and therefore all the legends will shut the hell up. So I have multiple views. I do think we would be better off without gatekeepers. Without gatekeepers. I do think so. But then at the same time, I'm like, would we? I don't know. You guys can decide in the chat. Here's Michael Carrick here on whether he's been given expectations. And I think this question is important because we have been told, and I said to you guys, let's lock this in. We have been told that Champions League football, and Wilcox said this, is the minimum. He said this. He can't go back on his word now. I don't like people going back on their word. This is what his expectations are. Wilcox has said this out of his mouth. Top 5 or top 4 Champions League. So the question was asked on whether he, Michael Carrick, was given any expectations. He's said no expectations in terms of this way or that way from above. Full stop. That's important because he's not been told how to play, whether to play this formation or whatever. And he's made that clear. Personally, I don't think he's going to play with a back 5 anyway. So I don't think he's going to have too many people from above telling him how to play. But he says we want to be near the top. We need to take small steps towards that. European football obviously would be a step forward and we got to keep pushing. So I don't know if he's trying to manage expectations or not. But he's clearly saying that we want to finish in European spot. He hasn't said Champions League though. He said European football. And that means top 7, top 8. So I think it's quite interesting. Has he lowered the expectations? Is he trying to manage expectations? Is it best for Manchester United Football Club to set high expectations and push the players? Because sometimes I feel like if we say to the players, you only need to finish 10th this season, then the players will finish 10th. I feel like one of the reasons why we finished so low last season, we finished 15th, not just because the manager wasn't good enough or the players weren't good enough. I think we lowered the bar so much. I think Amrim spoke about suffering and failure, and he came out and I can't believe he said this is the worst Man United side ever. Imagine if you were a player and you had your manager say, "You are the worst ever." I think that stuff would destroy a lot of players' confidence. I think the manager lowered everyone's expectations last season, kept talking about suffering and failing and all these negative things, and I think that attributed to us also finishing 15th. I honestly think not just the reason, guys, not the only reason. The players weren't good enough. All of these things also, but I think that was a factor. I think the environment, yeah, that the manager created last season of just everything's just dire. United needs to suffer. All these things suck the life out of the players, and I think that environment that he sort of created from the back, from the get go, contributed to us finishing 15th. It wasn't the main thing, but it did. So I think setting expectations for any human being, for any job, you need to know what is expected of you. Full stop. When you go to work. So setting realistic expectations, setting goals are important. Of course, the goal that you express to the media is going to be different to the goal that you express to the players directly. To the players in the changing room, you might tell them top four and that's it. To the media, you're not going to do that, because if you say top four and you don't finish top four, the media are going to bite your head off. So all these things. Anyway, let's move on, guys. Let's move on. The chat is chatting. Let's see what the chat is saying. Alfred Giddy. Carrick likes to overload the left. Expected heavy involvement from Dorgu and space in the right. Dallo making late runs. Also, he's expected to be in a 3-man defensive shape in build up. Okay, Alfred, that's good to know. I think most teams now, as Amram has said, and we've seen, build up with 3 at the back, even though they play with a 4-2-3-1 shape. TK says it will be 4-2-3-1 and we lose 4-1 to City. TK, no, bro. No, TK, please. TK's always, nah, TK, please. Please, TK, don't call it. Don't call it, TK. I beg you, bro. The number 8 is the most pivotal role in Carrick's build-up, the half turns. We need a number 8 then, Alfred. We need a number 8. Carrick got a reassuring jawline, says Turkish. I can't explain it in any deeper, but it makes sense. Oh my gosh. TK says, to be fair, this is a huge opportunity for Carrick. If he gets us 5th or 6th, he will have a job in the Prem somewhere next year. TK, I agree. If we are true to our word, we won't give him a job. But if he does even reasonably well at Man United, he's going to get another Premier League job. Maybe like a West Ham job or something, since West Ham is where a lot of these guys started from anyway. Yeah, he was at his best during his 22-23 season, where he was pretty much all the big name championship players. He did very good. All right, Alfred Gideon giving us a bit of background, a bit of understanding of Michael Carrick. Big up, Alfred, man. Apart from Heaven, I did not see anyone Amrim developed. I think you look good. These are the things that we need to understand before we move on in terms of thinking about Amrim developing anybody. I think the players that looked best in Amrim's system were the players that had someone beside them. I.e., if you were playing in that defensive 3, right, you're going to look good, because nobody plays in a 3. Nobody gives you, no other like defensive unit gets that much protection. Everyone plays with a defensive 4. So, for instance, Maguire started looking decent because he was protected, because he was playing in a defensive 3. And everyone started saying he was good. Mason Mount started looking decent because Mason Mount plays with another 10. Mason Mount can't be the sole 10. He's not good enough. But he has another 10 to share the responsibilities with him. He'll look better. That left 10 is perfect for Mason Mount. So there are a few players that he might not have improved, but the system protected them and didn't expose them. If you are a midfielder playing in a double pivot in Amrim's system, you don't look good. You're exposed. As opposed to playing in a 4-3-3 where you'll be more protected, there'll be another midfielder for you to pass to. So I don't know about improving Heaven per se, but Heaven is definitely a catch. He's a catch, right? And he should get better. Big up Alfred. Big up Frederico Charges in the building, bro. Wagwan Fredro. What's up, people? Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, my brother. Wagwan. What is it? Wagwan alaikum. Is that the new phrase now? Wagwan alaikum. London, yeah. London is like a clash, yeah. Not a clash. Clash is the right word. It's a hot pot, yeah, of so many religions and cultures, yeah. I heard Wagwan, which is obviously from my culture, Jamaican. Wagwan alaikum. That's wild. But wagwan alaikum to my brothers. TK says, give Scholes, Keane, Neville a team in a Prem to manage. Let's see who is done. TK, they've all managed before TK and they all failed. They all failed. And people do bring that up. So, it is what it is. Big up Fredwell, man. Fredwell said, tomorrow we will smoke them City. Don't forget to, yeah, Fredwell Rico. Like I said, whatever you're, smoke. I want to smoke City. Do you know what, yeah? Can we do it, guys? Can we do it? Because I would love to. I would love to slap City, but I just don't know, guys. I don't know. But I like the optimism from you guys. With Tim saying, but do we keep trying to shoot the moon before we walk? Oh man, Tim is funny. TK is detoxed, ready for the back half of the season. Shake it, bro. Just shake it off. Go to the sauna, breathe it in. You know, get your chest clear, the sinuses and all that, and just come back for the second half of the season. We go again, baby. All right, quickly on Mateus De Ligt. We have not seen De Ligt in 1,000 decades. 1,000 decades we haven't seen him, and I like De Ligt. De Ligt was the defender, or he is the defender that I am less nervous about. Heaven, I still get a bit nervous. Lenny Euro, I get a bit nervous. All of these guys, I get a little bit nervous. With De Ligt, I am the most confident with De Ligt. So I think he is our best defender. That's my opinion. If you disagree, as usual, you guys know what to do. Carrick on Mateus De Ligt has been carrying a bit of an issue. And don't forget, De Ligt has had injury problems in the past. And I'd hope that these injury issues were subsiding. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let's just read on. Hopefully, we'll get him back sometime soon. It's been a little bit slower than what we thought previously. All in all, the boys are in good shape. So he's not... I don't think there's any big injuries to report on, guys. All in all, the boys are in a good shape. I just feel the energy, whether it's fresh or not. Obviously, I'm delighted to be here. I want to work a certain way. I want to enjoy what we do and work hard to get success. So based on that, guys, I don't see many injuries. We're going to have Mason Mount back. We're going to have Bruno available. We're going to have Kobe Mainu available, Casemiro and Ugarte. So he's going to have the full four-man midfielders to choose from. He's going to have Ahmad and Brandon Bumo back. Cunha, like I said, Mason Mount, Xerxes, Sesko, all the defenders. Maguire is also back, people. So there are no limitations on his team selection. This team selection, guys, I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking forward to see how Michael Carrick sets up, what Michael Carrick thinks, because it's an insight. It's gonna be an insight in his brain. It's gonna be an insight in the way he thinks. It's gonna be an insight in how he will set us up in the future and what we should expect. It's going to tell us a lot. Is he gonna drop Bruno and play Kobe in the 10? Yeah, I'm very intrigued, guys. I hope you guys are. Anyway, let's move on quickly. I know time is going. This is conversation about Jason Wilcox and the hierarchy and whether he's spoken to them. And listen, we heard what Amram had to say in his last press conference. So this is one of the questions where everyone was like, Wagwan with Wilcox Ineos. Wagwan with the hierarchy. What's the relationship? And everyone was waiting for him to say something juicy. I don't know. I've spoken to Jason an awful lot. Omar as well. Good. Good. The ownership group we're in, it was nice to see them and meet them. Taking care of business in some ways. We had a small chat. We were able to share a few things. They wished all the very best. He's not saying anything much there. He's not saying anything major. There's nothing really to report here. He's saying all the things he's supposed to say, towing the line, not saying anything outlandish, saying that we spoke, we have a good relationship. And that's it. Boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. Let's continue. Let's go. Acho said no thanks for Mount. He can stay injured. You guys are funny. Acho in the chat. You guys are funny. What's TK saying? Going skiing weekend. Ah, TK's always having fun, bro. TK's always going away having some fun. That's why TK's always chilled, bro. He's always like, even when we lose, TK's like whatever. That's a good life, TK, man. Enjoy your lives, man. Enjoy your lives, people. You know what I'm saying? You only get one of these motherfuckers. So enjoy it to the fullest. That's what I say, people. You know. All right. Michael Carrick on the game. We're welcoming Pep and Manchester City in a very important match that offers a fantastic opportunity for a fresh start. That's such a what are you doing, Michael? That's such a weird thing to say. There are the matches you live for at this club, whether you're a fan, a player, or a member of staff. Having had the privilege of representing you at Old Trafford and around the world, I know the impact your support has on the team. Your passion will carry us forward. We need to stick together and fight for each other to take United where we all want to be. That wasn't actually in a press conference. I don't think it was. I think that's probably taken from the United match day booklet or something like that they give out when he's just basically saying, come on, cheer for the lads and all these things. But like I said, there's something reassuring when you have someone like Michael Carrick in charge. Not Ollie was here in the 90s. Carrick was here a lot more recently. So he's a lot closer to the modern ways of football. He's a lot closer to the modern ways of football than maybe Ollie was. If you tell me if I'm wrong with that assessment. Um, all right, let's talk about Roy Keane very quickly. Let's just mention what Roy Keane has said. I know some of you in the chat, like Tim has already said F off to these guys already, but I'm just going to put it out there to the chat, let you guys know what Roy Keane has said. And we know that ex-legends are here. They're not going to go anywhere. But does Roy Keane have a point? That's my question to the chat, really. Let's just quickly read it to see what this guy is saying. Roy Keane's always going to be talking about something. Johnny Evans was on the beach just 2 weeks ago. He left United as a loans manager 4 or 5 weeks ago, and then Darren Fletcher surprisingly gave him a job. He's only had 2 games. Fletcher leaves, and then Carrick gives him another role. It's a bit much. What has Johnny Evans done to deserve a spot as a first team coach at Manchester United? I'm not going to lie. Roy Keane is somebody who's very polarizing. He's a Man United legend, but he says some things that the fan base won't agree with. And you might say some things that the fan base fully agrees with, or you might say something that you hate. All of these things. He's a very polarizing individual. However, does he have a point here, people? That's the question. Let's go back to best in class. We want the best in class. Best in class. How the hell? What did Evans know about loans or whatever that job was to then leave that job after 4 weeks to then to become some sort of assistant to Darren Fletcher, and then Carrick's given him another job. So this guy's gone from being a footballer 1 month. 1 month he was a footballer, and in the space of another month, he's had 3 jobs. 3 different jobs. Does he have the qualifications to do any of those 3 jobs? And don't forget, guys, best in class everywhere. So all I'm saying, guys, is that in my humble opinion, and you know me, I think Roy Keane has a point here. However, I'm also, I also think about the fact that Roy Keane he's a bit bitter. He's a failed manager. He tried to do his thing at Sunderland, that didn't work. I also understand that he might be frustrated. He's been blacklisted by Manchester United Football Club for a while. I'm not quite sure if he's back in good terms with them, but he's never going to be offered a job or coaching job at Manchester United. Never, Roy Keane. So he's a bit disgruntled towards Manchester United. He's always been that way. So we always have got to caveat things, caveat it. But given that caveat, I still think he's making a decent point here. Tim says, if Carrick wants him, okay. But I agree, long term, we need the best. But I think Kino says, Atro, I think Kino can be on the 3 lines like Adidas most of the time, says Atro. He's actually spitting here. Sure, Evans has been a loyal servant to the club, but where is Johnny's coaching badges? Non-existent. If he's just there for morale, just say so. Big up Oz in the chat as well. I know Oz slid in. What's Oz saying? Unfortunately, I feel this United team doesn't have much derby upset potential. I agree. You need a well-oiled machine to beat City. I agree. Passion and fighting for each other won't be enough. I also agree. This City is a bit of a beast. We should be beaten. We should get beaten by City. But as a Man United fan, I will keep hope and I will keep this crazy belief that somehow we can do something. Big up Oz Maniac in the chat. Oz also says Roy Keane is a bore, but this is correct. Interim Carrick and ex-players on staff and get top 4 is not a plan. It's the opposite of a plan, says Osman. I like this chat. Because this chat, when you listen to this chat, you learn some shit, You learn some stuff. Everyone's coming with their own perspective, and it's really, really good. Ahmad and Inshallah. I enjoyed this comment from Michael Carrick about Roy Keane's comments because, of course, Amrim spoke out about the former players, and I feel like Amrim, 2 things can be right at the same time. I think Amrim speaking out about the influence the former players have, I think that was important. But I don't like the fact that Amrim made it known that they have that much power. When Amrim says, when Roy Keane and he said Gary Neville specifically speak and how it changes people's minds and how he does this, I wish he didn't certify their power. I wish he'd said something like, they talk a lot, but we ignore the noise. I wish he said something like that. Instead, I think Amrim legitimized it. I think Amrim said, yeah, they talk a lot and they affect us and we listen and it's bad. Carrick has basically said, listen, they're not putting more pressure on me. I don't feel that pressure. There are plenty of opinions around, some positive and some not much. It's totally irrelevant in terms of what I focus on. I know what we want to improve on and how we want to work with the players. And I feel like that response is better. You're not saying it doesn't exist. You're not denying that there is noise out there from the ex-players. What you're doing is saying, I'm going to ignore it and we're going to do our thing. And that is what a manager who understands what it's like to manage. Because Amrim, there's news coming out about Amrim. He did not know how big this job was. He did not know how much scrutiny he would be on. He did not know how much influence the ex-players and all these things, rightfully or wrongfully, Some of you will say that it's not right that the ex players have this much influence, but he just didn't understand. Carrick knows. Carrick knows. Anyway, he goes on to say there's a lot that can be said. It's the way of the world. I'm not going to pay too much attention to that. For me, the players and the staff, it's a focus on how we're going to succeed. That's our job. Well done. Listen, he could have answered this in a very bad way. He could have answered this in a way to give the media more fuel to write more front pages. But he just said, he answered it in the right way. Yes, there's going to be noise, but our job is to win and to improve. What else can you say? What else can you say? Big up. Anyway, let's move on. Um, let's move on. We've now spoken at length now about Carrick. We've gone through his press conference, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be positive. I feel positive, guys. Carrick's handled that well. It's a very quick press conference, 4 or 5 minutes actually. He said the right things. Saying the right things and doing the right things are two different things. And he's trying to bring some sort of positive feel to the club. So I'm gonna be a bit more positive if I can. Let's move on from Carrick and let's talk quickly about the protests, people. Regardless of how we feel and regardless of how positive I'm trying to be, the majority of the fans are still angry and protests are still being planned, guys. And I think this is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Even if they pull wool over your eyes, protest. If they sprinkle sugar on top, protest. Don't get gassed. Anyway, Laurie Whitwell on the Glazers and Ineos meeting. This is not unique, but the fact that they've moved it to Manchester when fans are having deep concerns over the direction of the club, to the point of a protest at the Fulham game. Let your voice be heard because they're hearing it. These guys are moving around, having meetings here or there. The protests that are happening, the protests that are being planned, it is working. They are taking note. It is forcing them to alter their behavior. And listen, even if you just alter someone's behavior by a little bit, by changing their meeting, forcing them to have conversations, uncomfortable conversations, force them to get rid of whatever it might be, it is having an impact. And I would say this, some of us are in London, some of us are in other parts of the world that are not Manchester. And there's not a lot we can do, with regards to protesting. I spent almost £100 of my money buying this top. And it's the first top I bought. Yeah, the first time I've bought anything from Manchester United in about a decade. Because I refused to give them my money while they were being shit, basically. So everyone protests in their own way. I don't pour money into the club because I don't like the Glazers. Some people literally protest. Everyone does their own thing. I can't tell you guys what to do. But if you want change, you have to alter your behavior and do something different if you want to get a different outcome. And I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. But if you guys want to protest and do all these things, you love the club, you love the club. You don't choose what you love. Big up Dara in the chat, bro. Big up Dara. I hope you're having a good day, man. There you go. So there you go, guys. Kasim Hero. Cass M Hero. I feel like Laurie Whitwell is not a troll. Like, I don't understand why this is news or why this has been put out there. I feel like some things are put out to just to get a reaction. So here we go. Casemiro can trigger the extra year option in his United contract by starting a certain amount of games this season. Figure believed to be 35, so would require every starting 11 from now on. It's such a very strange thing to put in a contract. How many contracts have you had like this, guys? Just putting it out there. I don't know. But Laurie goes on to say, seen as highly unlikely, it's not likely that Casemiro to get to that 35 figure, assuming this is true as well, guys, because I don't actually know. But assuming this is true, because Laurie Whitwell, why would he be posting? Laurie Whitwell, the official journalist, Laurie Whitwell, wouldn't be posting this. He's a mouthpiece for the club as well. But anyway, this is very unlikely that he will start that many games, which means, according to this tweet, it is highly unlikely that he can trigger the contract extension. It doesn't mean Man United themselves can't say, fuck it, here's a contract extension. Do you want it? I've been told mixed messages. I've been told that they could trigger it. Depending on the summer that we have, depending on who we bring in, we could trigger it. Because if we get rid of Ugarte, for instance, and we bring in 2 midfielders, we might just hold on to Casemiro for another year. It depends on what we do in the summer. I think we will let him go. I think we should. I like Casemiro, but even I, who's a Casemiro fan, can see that physically he just doesn't have the speed and the energy to bump up and down the pitch the way that we want him to do. He just doesn't. It's a shame, but that's a reality, guys. We say what we see, not how we feel. I feel differently. I feel differently from what I'm seeing, but fuck my feelings. I'm seeing a man who, in the last game, he allowed how many players just literally walked past Casemiro in the last game. And imagine Declan Rice. That's the difference between us and Arsenal. Listen, Casemiro has been a better DM than Declan Rice could be. Like 5 Champions Leagues, all these things. But right now, what Declan Rice is doing and running around like a flipping madman for Arsenal, we don't have that player. We don't. So, Cass, I like you. I do. But the physicality and the pace of the league, my man, it's time. It's time. That's just my opinion. I think it's time. It's time now. Come on. We must let him go this time. Let me know what you guys are saying. Big up Sausage. What's Sausage saying? Big up Sausage, man. We beat City easily. 2-0 or 3-0 all day, every day. Wait, we're talking Women's League, right? Bro, you know when I'm reading Sausage's chat and I'm proper like, I didn't pre-read it. So I'm thinking this guy, listen, is once again smoking the Cali. Then he went, Women's League. I was like, oh my Lord, Sausage, bro. Funny guy. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Man United women's team are doing all right, They're actually doing, listen, if all else fails, yeah. Like I keep saying, I've said this before. I love women, yeah. So once a women's game, yeah, it gets to a level where I can watch football and also use my eyes and look at women. It's not a bad thing looking at women. Women are beautiful, right? So I'm getting pleased in 2 different ways. I'm watching good football and I'm looking at women, bro. It's a win-win situation. I'm telling you guys, yeah, go and watch a women's game. Go to the stadium and watch a women's game. You'll be the only guy in the stadium. and you'll be able to talk to all of these women about football. Yeah. It's very interesting. I challenge you guys. Go and watch a women's game. The atmosphere is different. The atmosphere is different. I'm telling you. Pick up everybody. Oh man. Yeah, man. It's Friday evening, man. Hope you guys are drinking whatever you're drinking, smoking whatever you're smoking. Enjoy yourselves, man. That's what we do on a Friday evening show, man. We relax a bit, have a bit of a laugh. Um, those fans in the UK must do like AC Milan. Zero attendance, best protest. Federal RICO charges. I wish we could do that. Do you guys honestly think Old Trafford could clear out? You know how some fan bases they say things like, in the 70th minute we'll clear out the stadium. Do you guys think that could ever happen at United? You got people flying over to watch a game from China, spending £1,000 on a ticket. Do you think they're gonna walk out in the 70-minute mark when they've flown all? It's hard, guys. It's so hard when you've got a fan base of like 500 million and they don't even respect the local fans. They don't care about the local fans. Sausage said Casemiro can trigger my left nut. Atro says Cass is not starting that many games. Yeah, man. Federal said, bro, get that old man out my club. Oh no, Cass. His legs are gone. Yeah, I'm sure he won't want to stay. No, I'm sure he'll want to stay, Tim. Nah, Tim, the more I think about it, Tim, he'll want to stay because it's an easy ride. Nah, yeah. TK, Casemiro is the reason United have installed handy ramps all over the place, even at pitch level. Oh no, Cass is getting it. Cass is getting it. Well, yeah, 350 grand a week. Yeah, yeah. All right, it's time. It's time for Cass to leave. It's time for Cass to leave. Like, you guys can leave. You guys can ease up now. Chelsea's on the master. What's the sausage saying? You're not for the guys, bro. I'm just listen. I'm just saying. And some of these women games would have their yummy mums in the stands. Win-win. Sausage. You said it, not me. You said it, not me. Listen, we love women in the channel. We ain't one of them red pill communities that are just flipping. We're grown ass men here. Yeah, we love our mothers, we love our sisters, we love our aunties. Yeah. And if you don't love women and you swing the other way, I've got cool. Do you? This is a channel for everybody. But allow me to love women. I'm joking. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about football, guys. Hey, yo, big up Kwaku. Man like Kwaku in the building. The stepping in. Sliding in. I have sausages. I have sausage to share. And that's when we go back to football, guys. Guys, this is I don't know. This Ben Jacobs said this. So I'm gonna tell you guys this because it is what it is. I'm only here to report what's going on. Ben Jacobs has said that Man United have held talks with a secret midfielder, and in the last 24 hours. I'm like, first and foremost, the grammar is crazy. Is the midfielder a secret? Is he a secret to himself? How can you talk with someone who's secret? That doesn't make no sense. Is he made of? Is he made of secrets? Like a secret midfielder. How can you talk to somebody who's a secret? I mean, you know who he is, so he's not the secret midfielder. If you're talking to him, hi there, yo Johnny, how you doing? Do you want to come play for my club? Cool. Do you know that you're the secret midfielder? Like, I don't. What? Anyway, it would be for a loan until the end of the season. He has Premier League experience and is currently playing outside of England. That sounds like, what's that called? Like a game show. It sounds like a game. Guess the person. All right, guys. Guess the person. Let's play a game before we leave. I'll read it one more time, and you guys have to give me. Everyone has to give me 2 guesses. All right. One last time. Man United have held talks with a secret midfielder in the last 24 hours. It will be for a loan until the end of the season. He has Premier League experience and is currently playing outside of England. 2 guesses. Who could this be? 1, the guy's gone to Tottenham. Who's gone to Tottenham? There's Gallagher. Conor Gallagher has gone to Tottenham. So it's not Conor Gallagher, right? I've heard Loftus-Cheek already been mentioned by somebody, and Ruben Neves. So I'm gonna throw out there two names that come to my head: Ruben Neves and for some reason Loftus-Cheek. I don't know. Oh, technically should the same. I don't know, guys. I don't know, but secret midfielder is flipping. It's such a weird. It's such a weird way of putting words, bro. Like I wish they said, yeah, he had secret talks with a midfielder rather than a secret midfielder. Man. He gets the Pokemon vibes. Federico said Matt Tominay. Matt Tominay's come. Listen, I would listen. This is why I said to you guys, yeah, what's coming to my head as soon, yeah, as flipping Federal said McTominay. Then what came to my head? What popped into my head, yeah, was the fact that we bought Ugarte for £60 million to replace McTominay. Is Ugarte better than Scott McTominay? This is why I say, yeah, we have money and we spend money, but a lot of the times we don't spend it wisely. I ain't ruling I'm Federal. Now don't come at me, Federal. I ain't ruling out McTominay. It could be, but I'll take Scott back for Ugarte. Dara said Ben Jacobs said it's not Ruben Neves. Anyway. I want to bring this to you guys' attention before we just finish off. I know you guys want to talk about who our next full-time, long-term manager will be. Oliver Glasner has apparently confirmed, breaking news, that he will leave Crystal Palace at the end of the season. So that is breaking news. Apparently, Ben Jacobs has just tweeted that Oliver Glasner will leave Crystal Palace at the end of the season. Does that mean he's coming to United? Of course not. But questions will be asked, right? Questions will be asked. Brian and Bumo and Ahmad are back. Lacey and Mantato are playing in the under 21s. We know this. We're now starting to get ready for our match preview. So guys, we're gonna have to pull out the team. We're gonna have to yeah. All right. Give me 2 seconds, guys, while I try to fix something very quickly. Just 2 seconds, but I'm gonna keep talking. Yeah, so like I said, Mbumo and Ahmad are back. Lacey, we've got Brian back. We've got Mbumo back. So we don't need Lacey in the squad. There's no space for Lacey in the squad now that we've got these players back. So the likes of Lacey, the likes of Mantato will be now playing in the under 21s. Guys, another question I want to ask before we just move on to the team sheet and who's going to play and who's not going to play and what we're going to expect from the game and all these things. What's your initial impression of Shea Lacey, guys? I'm not going to lie. He looks all right, Lacey. I've been hearing this Lacey guy, Lacey. He looks all right, Shea Lacey. And he's the kind of player that if he's 18 years old at Southampton, he'd be playing all the games. If he was at, I don't know, Brighton or a lower team, Brighton, maybe not Brighton, but if he was a lower club, he'd be playing maybe week in, week out, getting that experience. If Kobe Mainu was playing for Southampton or something, he would have had 200 games by now at 20. At 20. So I don't know. All right, guys, let's do it. We're going to go 4-2-3-1. So let's do it, guys. I need your input in this. We're not going to do the team that we want because everybody wants their own team. I want a team that looks, that resembles my football. You guys will want a team that resembles your football. In fact, if for your own team, let me know who you would start in a 4-2-3-1. Let me know who you would start in a 4-2-3-1. I'm going to try my best. We going to try our best to predict what Carrick is going to play. Who Carrick is going to start, which is difficult, guys, because we don't. Yes and no. We know Carrick. We kind of know the football he plays. Some of you guys will know more than me, like Federico in the chat, and and of course Alfred Gideon as well. You guys will know as well, but I don't know. All right, I think the back four, take Shaw out and put in Dorgu for one. Yeah. The reason why I'm going with Dorgu is because Fletcher started Dorgu over Luke Shaw, so I'm just gonna go with that as well. I would prefer Dorgu on the left because he gives us a lot more going forward than Shaw on the left. Lacey, by the way, guys, is like I said, Lacey and Matata are playing for the under 21s tonight. Tonight. So they can't be involved anyway against Man City tomorrow. And like I said, they were taking up two spaces that now Ahmad and Mbumo will now be taking up. Um, I would, I expect, I would start Lenny Euro and Heaven. I don't understand why we haven't done Heaven and then Euro, but I think Carrick will start Lenny Euro and Martinez. Yes, Lenny Euro for Martinez. Oh yes, TK is right. Lacey Evans also got a red card, double yellow as well, so he can't play anyway. Atro, I saw the Gay He for 20 M's. Can someone explain to me the Gay He 20 million deal? Because I saw it and I was seeing Liverpool, trying to bid for him 40 million and all these things in the summer, and all of a sudden January, which should be a harder time to get a player, he's going for 20 million. So I don't know, Atro. Can someone flipping tell me why Gay He went for 20 M's, please? Lacey Yanuzai vibes. No, Kwaku, I hear you. I hear why you said Lacey got Yanuzai vibes, but Yanuzai was also a kind of a certain player that I reckon if we developed, he would have been better, I think. But we'll see. We'll see about Lacey. Um, the problem is I don't want to start Dallo. I do not. But do you know what we could do? I would actually put Dorgu as right back and then maybe start Shaw at left back because anyone's better than Dorgu. But I'm not going to do that because I don't think so. We're going to leave Casemiro. Ah, what's Carrick going to do? What's Carrick going to do? That's the thing. I have no idea, people. Mm. Take out Casemiro and put on Kobe. Hello, Casemiro for Kobe. Fredel says Cunha, he is a fraud who thinks he is Messi. Oh, strong words for Cunha. I think Cunha came from a small pond. He was the big fish, and now he just needs to behave like a smaller fish now, and not want to do everything, not want to dribble past everyone. He needs to not be so selfish. Unfortunately, that's what he needs, bruv. Just release the ball, Cunha, please. Um, take out Shaw and put in an Ahmad. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, guys, okay. What are you guys saying? Don't forget, this is not my team. I think this might be close to a team that I think Carrick might pick. What's Acho says? So Gay had 6 months left on his contract. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I think why he sold is because Palace have been struggling to get people. So I think they were like, we will take this. Yeah, because in 6 months' time you're gonna get him for free. So they had to take the money. Yeah. Quaku says City added bonuses. Yeah, okay, it makes sense, guys. It makes sense. I never knew he had 6 months left on his contract. To be fair, yeah, it makes sense why you take advantage of that. And Gehi probably said to Palace, "Listen, I'm not going to Liverpool. You can waste your time all you want. I'm going to the City." But then again, Gehi looked like he was going to Liverpool. Acho says, "I hear you, but he likes Bruno, but with actual quality. Bruno's not combative nor puts in tackles, so I'd rather Cunha as he would have help." Yeah, I would. The thing about Cunha, I prefer Bruno's passing to Cunha's passing. And Bruno makes better decisions than Cunha. Bruno's decision making is better than Cunha's decision making. Bruno released the ball because he can't. Bruno can't dribble. There's not things that Bruno can't do. So Bruno would rather pass the ball, clip a ball over the top, or do whatever than try to dribble past people. That's why I'm like, yeah. By the way, Ahmad is in the place of Luke Shaw, guys. Luke Shaw isn't on my screen. My screen's frozen. I'm gonna try to get it back, but obviously for me, if he does play a team like this, the issues are Ugarte, who's not a good ball progressor. He doesn't progress the ball. Kobe Mainu can progress the ball, but Kobe Mainu is not going to fire a 40-yard pass. Kobe Mainu might pick the ball up from the back four, but he's Kobe Mainu likes that intricate football. He likes tight spaces. That's the kind of football he likes. So that midfield, the balance of that midfield isn't right, and it's against Man City. So I don't know how strong that midfield is. Bruno, as you know, Acho said, and many of you say, not very combative. There was a stat that says Bruno is the most dribbled past player in the league, right? He's the most dribbled past. So that midfield three is probably the best balance, yeah, that we can currently get, and it's still not great. It's still not great. How are we gonna be able to, go up against the Rodris and I mean Cherky? Is it Cherky? No, Cherky's still with Morocco, isn't he? No, sorry, my brain's Cherky's not Moroccan. Ryan Cherky. Who's the Moroccan guy? The other one? No, for Chelsea. I can't remember. I can't remember. But you guys get the point. Um, I would take Cunha off, take Cunha out, and play in Bruno. I would, but I don't know if Carrick's going to do that. I think maybe one of Ahmad or Mbima will start, guys. That's what I think. One of them will start, Ahmad or Mbimo. And to be fair, all of a sudden it makes our bench look a lot better. Even if you starting Bumo, you got Ahmad to bring on in the second half against City, and vice versa. So all of a sudden our bench looks a little bit better. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm always torn, yeah, because when I see that 10 role, I'm like, can't Cunha play the Bruno 10 role? But then I'm like, that 10, yeah, is like essentially it's a midfielder. There's two types of 10s, right? There's a 10 that's a advanced midfielder, i.e. a Frank Lampard, maybe a Paul Scholes when he played behind Van Nistelrooy for one season. That advanced central midfielder, like a Bruno. Or you have the 10 that's a natural 10, like a Lionel Messi and Neymar, Eden Hazard. Those are 10s. David Silvers. So there's the Fabregas 10, like I said, the Bruno 10, the De Bruyne type of 10. I don't really like calling those 10s. And then you have the actual 10s. the Maverick ballers. Cunha is kind of in between those two profiles, I think. And maybe the issue with playing Cunha in that 10 role is he going to drop back in the midfield and be dogged in that midfield and fight for every ball and do all of these things? I don't know. So playing Cunha as a 10, yeah, is almost like playing Cunha as a second striker because he's not involved in the midfield like that, like Bruno would be. So you kind of, it's difficult. I want to like Cunha in the 10. I want to, but I don't know based on the way that Cunha plays if he's gonna be a midfielder like that and drop back and shore up the midfield and do all of these things and run around and slide tackle and do. I don't know. I don't know. But let me see what I think TK put out his team. Let me go up to see TK's team. I mean Atro's team. Lemens, right back and left. Oh yeah, Mazraoui and Dorgu. I mean, I would put Mazraoui as right back if wait, has he returned? No, because Morocco went to the final. So yeah, Mazraoui's not back yet, but I would put Mazraoui on the right. Um what did Atro say? Dillit in heaven. Dillit's injured. I put Euro over Heaven. I mean, I would put Heaven and Euro as a centre back pair. Don't forget, guys, this is just a team that I think the manager might play. This is not my team. Cass and Kobe, Cunha, right wing Ahmad. Yeah, striker Xerxes. I would play Xerxes. I don't think there's a lot of difference between Sesko and Xerxes at the moment. There could be. Sesko could grow into to be an absolute beast, but at the moment, I don't think there's a lot. There is a lot at all. What's Kwaku saying? Palace probably in free fall after Glasner saying he's gone. Yeah, Kwaku. I don't. It's never a good thing saying. It's never a good thing when a manager comes out and says he's leaving before the end of the season. I don't know what that does to players. I don't know. I don't know what the psychology is, but it just gives people an excuse to be lax. If you get told it, but halfway doing something that someone's gonna leave or the manager's gonna go home. Like it's like saying when you're at work and it's 2:30 and your manager says I'm leaving at 2:30. I'm leaving early. What's gonna happen after the manager leaves? People are gonna be throwing paper. People people are gonna be messing around the office. That's what it's kind of like when a manager comes out in the middle of the season and says I'm leaving at the end of the season. I don't know. Um Oh yeah, TK. No, Amaz in there. Amaz in there. I think a lot of you guys would play Mbumo for Cunha as well. I think a lot of you guys would drop Cunha and just play both Ahmad and Mbumo. Atro says, I hear you. Bruno makes better passing decisions, but I'm not wanting hoofball. Yeah, I hear that. Atro. I hear that. Atro says, I want to see Kobe in the 10. Atro, Michael Carrick has come out, yeah. And when he was asked about Kobe Mainu in his long interview, in the Sky Sports interview that he does, he says he sees Kobe Mainu as an attacking player. That's what Carrick said. So you could see Mainu as a 10. You could. A Federal says Bruno creates one chance but gives out 3 chances. Yeah. The Bruno being a net negative thing is always going to come up. He will create for us, but his lack of discipline, his lack of positioning, the fact that he gives the ball away, a lot of these things means that he also puts us under an unnecessary pressure a lot of the times. The careless nature in the way he plays football, the free nature. He plays football. He wants to play football with not a lot of responsibilities. That's how I see Bruno. Yeah, TK. I mean, like I said, I don't want to start Dalot, bro. TK. I'd rather start Mazraoui. I'd rather put Dorgu on the right and then put Shaw on the left. So let's do that. Let's do that for put Shaw on for Dallo. Harry's on the bench. I don't think Harry will start. And Delit is still injured as well, guys. TK says the worst players from the Brighton game, Cunha, Ugarte, and Dallo, are starting against City. I'm revising my score to 5-1. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't start them. Like I keep saying, guys, I wouldn't. I'm just trying to predict what Carrick might do. If we don't play Ugarte, basically we got two DMs. We got Casemiro and we got Ugarte. One of them will play. One of them will play. You just got to choose. And like I said, the choice is between the two DMs we have. The choice really is between off the ball and on the ball. You got to make a choice. What kind of game you want to play, guys? Do you want to be on the ball a bit more? You play Casemiro, but understand that off the ball, you're not going to be that great. If you want to make sure you cover the spaces off the ball, and you know you're not going to have loads of possession, you might play Ugarte. It's either choice isn't perfect. Either choice represents some sort of trade-off. But what can we do? You guys know we need midfielders, and I know this as well. We have a player called we called Heaven, but we're in hell. We're in hell. Oh man, flipping heck. You can't play Xerxes if Sesko scored 3 goals in last 2 matches. I'm sorry, that will be an Eric Ten Hag move. Player on fire is staples to the bench. I agree with TK to a certain extent. In general, I agree. If a man is hot, play him. And yeah, play Sesko. I will start Sesko, but I wouldn't be afraid to start Xerxes. And also, sometimes it depends. You know, when like a man could be on fire, but you're playing a team that doesn't suit his game. And you're like, I know you scored 2 goals in the last game, but this game is different. It's not for you. It's not for you. I'm not saying that's the case for Sesko, but I'm just giving an example of where, or a scenario where that might not play out as well. I'd rather put a cardboard cutout of Vidic in the place of Dallo. Yeah, Federica says all the early playoffs we have lost. Man City are playing good football, man. Man City have literally just bought Semenyo, and Semenyo just slotted in like he's always been playing there. They got Doku. Like, it's hard, guys. It's hard. We know the game, how the game's gonna go. City are gonna have most of the ball, and because City are going to have most of the ball, and even under Fergie times, we sometimes City had a lot of the ball. So that's why I feel like Carrick is gonna play a team. He's gonna start a team knowing that Man City will have most of the ball. I think he's gonna know that. So despite what we want, guys, this will be a counter-attacking game. We will be sitting in, and if Carrick is smart, we'll be counter-attacking. We're not as good as City, and we can't play City toe for toe. We can't. For the first time in a long time, I'm saying let's not go toe for toe. Let's try to win this game, and if we have to win the game by stinking it out, I don't mind being smelly for one day, and then having a hot shower afterwards. So that's me, guys. Yeah, you could put Mbumo for Cunha, but for some reason, guys, I'm making the changes. I'm actually changing the players, and oh, now it's working again. Good, good. Mbumo. But also, if we're gonna change Mbumo, if we're gonna put Mbumo on for Cunha, we also need to understand that Mbumo and Cunha are 2 different players. Cunha can actually drop deep and link the play and do all these things. Mbumo wants to run away from the ball. Mbumo wants to be on the edge of the last defender. That's kind of where he wants to be. So it might actually be better playing Brandon Bimo actually than Cunha. Deep block, low block, have City do their passing, tiki-taka stuff, and be hitting them on a break. Fire diagonals at Mbeumo. Get Fernandez and Ahmad to run and catch up with him, give him some support. Listen, under Amorim, we were doing the route one to Sesko, kick the ball to Sesko and let Sesko flick the ball on to Ahmad. We might do that. We might do route one football. We might do. I don't know. Because the last match City played wasn't like 5 goals and then 8. Like aren't City on some mad run where they're just flipping beating up guys, just thumping them up, just slapping up teams. So we're gonna face City that are hot right now. Hot. So I don't know, guys. Predictions in now. 8:45. It's been a nice 1 hour and a half show. Let's get our predictions in. Final thoughts before kickoff tomorrow, guys. How are we feeling? Mamouche. Flipping neck TK. I'm saying, you know what, TK? I get Turkey and Mamouche mixed up. But Mamouche is the one that's playing for Morocco, right? Yeah. Mamouche is now playing with Mazraoui for Morocco. Atro says, yeah, Bruno has no. Bruno's slow, bro. Bruno's not a 10 for me. Yeah, check. I remember Cherky when Cherky signed for Man City and he was speaking the most amount of flames, bro. His mouth was just hot. Man was saying, I'm coming to play for Man City so I can get revenge and beat Man United for knocking out Leon. For knocking out Leon in the... I'm like, bro, relax yourself, bro. What kind of stupidness is that? Cherky's going to be on some flames, though. He will. Um, Everyone's getting on that Dallo. Dara as well, not feeling Dallo. Dallo just gets everyone's blood boiling, bro. He does. All right, predictions. I'm going with 3-1 Man City. There you go. Fuck it. 3-1 Man City. But my heart is saying 2-1 Man United. Ah. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's it, guys. Big up the chat. Mamouche is Egyptian. TK says 4 or 5-1. Big up the chat, man. Big up the chat. That was a good show. That's your match preview, guys. That is your match preview. We've done the press conference, gone through the press conference quotes, understood what the manager is saying, his goal, what he feels about his new role, what he feels on the manager, his take on the board, his take on Ineos, the players, what his expectations are for the rest of the season. We went through the press conference quotes in detail, as well as any other news that is going around. Glasner has said that he will be stepping down from Crystal Palace, so we also just touched on that. Ahmad and Brian coming back. We went through some Laurie Whitwell quotes about Roy Keane. And yeah, we ended with talk on the game. What kind of game are we expecting? A lot of us in the chat are expecting to lose. Dara says 2-2. Dara says it's going to be a draw. TK says 4-1. Federal says 3-0. Haaland hat-trick. Oh no, man. I'm backing the boys. Acho's backing the fucking boys. Yeah, 2-1. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. All right, I'm on it. I hope tomorrow I'm not gonna be in front of you guys just swearing and cursing and just throwing things and get. To be honest, I don't really throw things. I'm not like that. But I hope tomorrow the stream is nice. I hope the game's good, guys. I don't want to be sitting here in front of you guys just crying, bro. I don't want to be doing that. Not tomorrow. So big up the chat. Big up the community. Sausage, Federal, Atro, Turkish, always, T Kizzle, Dara, TK's gonna do the MVP in a bit. Kwaku, Oz as well. Big up the chat. A nice chat today. Some nice conversations. Tim as well. Community growing, man. The community is banging, man. It's popping. It's popping, guys. It's popping. Um, yeah, man. Big up the chat, man. Let's see who the MVP today is. What does TK say? Sausage. No. Today's MVP sausage milf loving homie. Everyone each to their own, man. If it's sweet, you eat it. If it's sour, you spit it out. Jake, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing. Damn, damn people. Dave Chappelle. Oh, sausage says my prediction is it won't be a 0-0 draw. Oh man, people, it's been fun. It's been good, man. Enjoy your Friday evening or whatever time it is. I know you guys are from all over the world. Enjoy yourselves, man. Shivs, yeah, Shivs wasn't here today, but he'll be there tomorrow. I know he'll be there tomorrow. Big up, guys. Enjoy it. We'll be here, back here tomorrow, hopefully for a good time. Big up yourselves, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, man.